Someone is lying, but who do you trust?
But there are just so many more things that you have to be great at in this game.
The guy is just very good at the game and he talks a lot.
Welcome to Sinistry. NRG just took an L and Verno just got a win. FNS says one thing, Aspas says another. And now we've got a little Game of Thrones going on. Is someone dodging accountability or is there more to the story? In this video, we're reading between the lines. Let's start dissecting FNS's recent interview with Pedro Romero. Sure, you might have already seen it, but it's what's left unsaid that tells the real story. The way FNS phrased some of what he's saying is quite interesting. First off, FNS said a lot of the conversations on the team are a lot smoother now. No surprises there, that was supposedly the root cause of why they kicked Verno out. For the guys in NRG, there was just something about Verno that didn't quite mesh with the team.
But what is it really?
That Aspas is saying otherwise, which only adds to the contradiction. If NRG moved on because of smoother conversations, yet Aspas is painting a different picture, what's the real reason? What was it about Verno that made the team not want him around so badly? FNS also said the changes were a unanimous decision. We already knew that, but here's why I brought it up.
Specifically helping your team be the best they can be, and that just wasn't there. Okay, his comms aren't like up to par. That's okay.
My thoughts on Verno, for now from what I saw, he's a really good player. He talks a lot in-game and out-game as well. Communicates everything. He do some good mid-rounds calls and those stuff. And out-game he talks a lot as well, so I'm just very happy with him.
Now, it's not just about FNS's word against Aspas's. So now, it gets really weird because you've got two completely different stories being told. Could it be that back in NRG, Verno's ideas were just getting shut down? That no matter what he said, he wasn't being heard, so he just stopped talking. If that's the case, then maybe this was never about his comms at all? Maybe it was about whose voice actually mattered. So now, I'll ask again, who do you believe? Do we let the wins and the losses speak for themselves? It's 4 versus 1 or 4 versus 2 if you count Verno, depending on how you look at it. So again, what's really going on here? If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments. There's a lot more that FNS said in that interview, but most of it focuses on the coaching side of things. I'm working on a script about it right now, and if everything checks out, the video drops next week. So hit that sub button so you'll get notified once it drops. Moving on to the other side, let's break down Verno's interview with Pedro this time. Verno said that what happened with NRG was simple. It just didn't work out with the people. Whether it was lack of communication or players underperforming, he subtly confirms that the NRG roster had a lot of issues. Verno also mentioned how weird it was that after NRG dropped him, they went on to take a lot of shots at him. And honestly, he's got a point. It might not be straight up shit talking, but the subtle jabs and implied messages are obvious from a mile away. You don't see that happen often. The only similar situation that comes to mind is the Rossi and Cloud9 drama, though that was tame compared to whatever's going on here. If you can recall other situations like this, leave them in the comments. It might have been brushed off in the interview since Verno initially called out Pedro for asking bait questions. I mean, that's just how interviews go, right? Anyway, he said that the truth will always come out in the end. But what is the truth? I think what Verno is alluding to is that the game speaks for itself, and honestly, we're already seeing it. Not only did FNS struggle, but Ethan also played horrendously in their game against Cloud9. Don't get me wrong, Verno didn't light up the scoreboard in their match against Leviathan either, but nevertheless, they won. So if we try to piece it all together, the boys in NRG not wanting him so bad, Verno saying that the truth will eventually come out, to me it all comes down to one thing. Verno didn't buy into NRG's vision. With the way it looks, there's no hiding it. FNS is a liability in plain sight. In most of their matches, you can just scroll to the bottom and boom, he's right there chilling. Talk about consistency, right? It's hard to ignore that he's been the weakest link every time. Now that Verno is in MIBR, he is still the same nonchalant guy, but you can tell he's more engaged. And he seems to be vibing well with Aspas. Just look at him trying to contain his laughter after Aspas miserably fails the spike defuse challenge.
That's crazy. I watched your photos including you and I forgot about the bomb.
Too much on me. I don't know.
I forgot about the bomb. You were shooting Lev a little bit.
There's no denying he's having more fun now than he ever did in NRG. I guess what this guy needed is someone who he could actually look up to. Not that I'm throwing shade to anyone, but he's young and he's probably looking for a person who he does not only believe in, but one who he can also troll around with.
Aspas is like the best player in the game. He always knows how to play. Same with like, I was actually surprised, honestly, by everyone on the roster. Like I knew they were good, but I didn't realize like how good they were. But they all like really good. Like I can trust all of them to like play well and like kill people and know how to play.
Before we start comparing NRG's players to MIBRs, did you catch that? Verno said it not once, but he said it twice.
I can trust all of them to like play. I can trust all of them to like play well and like kill people and know how to play.
Talk about throwing shade. At first, you can tell he's kinda debating if he should even say it, but then he just goes for it. And the first time I heard it, it didn't really stick. But as I was editing this video, it hit me. This has to be shade, right? So what do you guys think? Am I reaching or is Verno low-key taking shots? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, back to the kind of environment Verno walked into. When you compare the players, it's like night and day. When you look at that NRG roster, FNS looks like a serious guy. Ethan looks like one too. Mada, who knows? And Som, yeah, he might be a troll, but he's FNS's best friend. Compare it to these guys in MIBR, they are just trolling around each other all the time. And if you're not following these guys, there's a lot more of it going around on X. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the guys in NRG don't know how to have fun, but maybe they just don't vibe with Verno's kind of trolling.
Let's get closer.
Kill this guy, bro.
Oh, sorry. Good round, Moto.
Oh, don't say that, but I'll
Good round, Moto.
I know, that's why you died.
Let's go, chat.
Or, with Aspas being the final boss, could it be that he tied Verno down and told him to get his shit together, or else the dick joke stop?
Verno, I have a big question for you now. You're gonna be walking at night with your girlfriend. Chief is gonna show up with a gun. He's going to point a gun to you two, and he's going to say that one of you two is going to suck his dick now. So you're gonna suck his dick or you're gonna let your girlfriend? You okay? Just checking.
If that wasn't enough, he probably might have said he could always replace him with Sacy. Sure, Sacy's a streamer for MIBR now, but if Aspas tried hard enough, he could probably drag him back into the game just to relive their dick jokes era.
Tem mais uma pergunta pra você aqui antes. Você tá em um ambiente que é um abismo e tem duas cadeiras. Você tem que sentar em uma cadeira. Numa cadeira tem um bolo da sua preferência, pode ser chocolate, morango, o que você gostar. E no outro bolo tem uma p***. Você senta no bolo e chupa p***, ou você senta na pique e come o bolo?
Senta na... e come o bolo.
Olha, ele nem pensou duas vezes.
All jokes aside, I don't know, but maybe it's a respect thing. Now that he's with Aspas, he's got someone to inspire him. Someone who makes it easier for him to buy into MIBR's vision. Someone whose greatness is undeniable in the way he plays. I actually covered this in part 2 of this series. It's like he doesn't want to be there. And maybe that's it, you know. Maybe his plan all along was to get kicked. Maybe he just wasn't feeling the vibe with these guys, so he decided to tough it out and be hard to deal with until they finally got sick of him. I guess we'll never know. Maybe Verno just struggled to fully commit and believe that NRG could win because again, FNS is struggling mightily right now and there's no hiding it. Like what I said in the beginning, it's what's left unsaid that tells the real story. And while this whole situation has been sour to say the least, players still have to protect the space in one way or another. People tend to downplay or sidestep uncomfortable truths, not just to avoid damaging someone's reputation, but also to keep from exposing mistakes or completely losing credibility. In a scene where perception is everything, controlling the narrative can be just as important as telling the truth. Sometimes it's about self-preservation. Acknowledging certain truths could make them look bad, weaken their position, or create unnecessary tension. Other times, they might not even realize they're doing it, as bias and selective memory can shape how they recall and present events. Either way, they're only telling us what they want us to hear. But it's up to us to read between the lines and figure out what really adds up. I want to know what you think. Did NRG spin the story to make themselves look good? Does Verno actually have substance on what he's calling the truth? One thing's for sure, the story never ends, so who do you believe? Let me know in the comments. That's it for the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, hit that sub button so you don't miss the next chapter, and see you in the next one. Peace!